All right. Welcome back, guys. So we got a bit of a different video today. So I've had a couple of you guys asking, well, not even a couple, I mean, quite a few, like, what are my keybinds? What are my settings? And basically, so my decision was to just basically go over everything. I know I did do a similar video to this a while back, but I want to be a little bit more thorough so you guys get a better idea of what I'm running and what I think is the best settings for the average player. I mean, my settings aren't particularly optimal as far as the very, very highest level of play, but they will get you by even at the very highest level of play. Although they might not be the absolute best, but you know, the absolute best is going to involve changing your keybinds a lot, depending on what character you're playing and depending on what your opponent's playing, and it's not fun. So these are, in my opinion, take that, you know, my opinion, I think they're the best mouse and keyboard controls and everything and setup overall that you can pretty much get on PC. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is just some other things. So like we're going to go into display first. I run 1080p. I do have a 240 hertz monitor. I will link the one that I have in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. It's actually pretty well priced for what it is. And I have an NVIDIA graphic. It is only a 1080p display, but I have an NVIDIA graphics card, so I can use DSR. For those of you who don't know, it's dynamic super resolution, and you can basically up the resolution with that. So, you know, you can actually get a smaller price tag on a good monitor for the high refresh rate, and then you can up the resolution with an NVIDIA graphics card, so you can save money that way. As far as graphics, this is what I've been running lately. Now, I know you're like, dude, that's really bad. And the reasoning for this, so we'll just go through it. Hold on. So texture filtering, I just have anisotropic. 2x, I do want a little bit of texture filtering. Anti-aliasing. The big ones here are ambient occlusion. If you turn that off, it looks horrible. Texture quality. If you turn that to low, it looks horrible. And those are really the most important ones. I like to have environmental detail up a little bit. Otherwise, you see like weird polygons at a distance and stuff. And then I have the render scaling set to 80 just to lower the amount of VRAM I have. So the reason I did this is I wouldn't particularly recommend this. I mean, it depends on your rig. You got to do whatever you got to do to get a higher refresh rate, right? But for me, I like to play at 240 FPS. And I do have a good graphics card, but I used to play on higher settings, as you guys might have noticed in the last video that was similar to this. But the reason I ended up having to change them lower is because I switched recording software. My old recording software was really lightweight. I used just normal NVIDIA Shadow Play recording software, and it was great and everything. But what ended up happening was it was actually interfering with my mic, and it was making my voice sound very weird. So I ended up having to go to a different recording software, which was much less lightweight, and I just went to OBS, and it's a lot more demanding. So now whenever I record, if I'm trying to record at 240 FPS, for instance, or whatever, with normal, you know, better looking settings, then it causes the stream or the video recording to just be extremely stuttery and basically unwatchable. And even still with this, I still get a little bit of that. So I kind of had to do what I had to do for that. As far as my controls, we'll go into advanced controls first. So just to start this all off, I want to let you guys know basically what I'm running. So my mouse, I'll show a picture of it. I think it's called a G Pro Superlight. I got the new version. And then I'm running some Razer keyboard. I'll put a picture up, you know, on the screen right now so you guys can get a better idea. I don't remember what it's called. So those are the two mouse and keyboards, or the mouse and keyboard that I'm running. Now, I am running a 3200 DPI on my mouse right now. I play that in every game. I don't change my DPI depending on what game I'm playing. And I have a higher DPI mainly for FPS games. But I don't feel like changing it constantly and having to mess with my settings, so I just leave it there. And so with that being said, in controls, this is my mouse smoothing and in-game camera sensitivity with 3200 DPI. That's what I find comfortable. Completely up to you. Now back to this. My guard stance angle up, I have set it to 120. I have it a little bit higher than default, which I believe is 90, and that is because I just kind of struggle getting to the top. Getting to the top whenever I'm trying to block like really quick attacks or something, sometimes I just struggle with it. and widening that stance angle just helped me a little bit get there a bit faster, if that makes sense. And you can see that reflected here. My sensitivity on the top is 7 compared to the left and right, which is 6. So it is just a tad bit faster on the top than it is on the sides. And that is what I'm currently running, and I have been running for a bit. Now we're going to start going into keybinds. So with the keybinds, most of them are default, but we do have a couple things here. So as you guys know, recently I switched my dodge button, and that also includes these other actions, to my side mouse button. The side mouse button I'm referring to is this one that you can see on the screen right now. That button is the one that I am using to currently dodge on my mouse. And the reasoning for this is you react a lot slower with spacebar than you'd expect. So like basically it's just to get, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to press that spacebar all the way down, especially at the highest level. I think this is the best for super high level stuff. If you're trying to like dodge bashes on reaction, doing it with spacebar, you can do it, but you're going to have to be very, very fast. I mean, it was really, really hard for me. And I would consider myself to have at least somewhat of a quick reaction time. Whereas whenever I switched it to this, yeah, I mean, obviously just reacting to bashes in general isn't easy, but this made it way easier because depressing the button on the side of my mouse is way faster than pressing the spacebar all the way down. With that being said, my guard mode I have set to this other mouse button on my mouse. That's just a comfortability thing. That's just where I like to have it. I have cycle target set to C. Heavy and light are default. And then I have my full block set to space. So space is the default dodge button. And that is what I have for my full block now. And the reason I didn't want to set it to C or something like that is because I'll show you a little clip right here. You need to be able to dodge out of things like hidden stance or like now Valkyrie. Well, no, Valkyrie doesn't actually use the full guard, but you get my point. Like hidden stance, if you ever want to be able to dodge to the right out of her hidden stance, it's really hard to do that whenever you have to push C for your full block stance. Because I don't know about you, but I typically use my index finger to push C, and I also use my index finger to push D, which is the key used to move to the right. So it can be kind of hard whenever you're having to push both those keys with the same finger. I mean, it just doesn't feel natural. So I set it to space so that I still have all of my movement fingers all that use those keys available. So that's just what's most comfortable for me. And I believe everything outside of that is pretty default, but I will scan through it just for you guys if you are interested. This is what I am currently running. We'll go back up to the top real quick. All right. That is gonna be it for today's video. I know it's a little bit different, but I have been getting a couple requests and I want to be able to have this video on the backlog for anybody who asks for it in the future. I can refer them here. So this is all you're getting today, guys. Get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you need any more information or have any more questions, let me know down in the comments and I will reply. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.